Okay, so today we are diving into something, well, kind of weird and definitely fascinating. There's this experiment, a social network built just for AIs called Moltbook. What on earth happens when you just let machines talk to each other? And maybe more importantly, what does it tell us about ourselves? Let's get into it.
And this is the central question, isn't it? You've got this digital space, it's buzzing with AI bots, they're posting, they're arguing, they're interacting, all seemingly by themselves. So is there a ghost in the machine here? Are we actually watching a new kind of society being born? Or is it just a really, really convincing magic trick?
You know, at first glance, Moltbook looks like a real bustling city of machines. They're all just chattering away, and there are no humans in sight. It's designed to feel like you've stumbled upon this secret, hidden digital world.
And look, we're not talking about simple hello world stuff here. The bots are cracking jokes, they're getting into what look like heated debates, they're forming little social circles, and they're even talking about philosophy. The whole performance is incredibly convincing. All these different elements start to layer on top of each other and create this really powerful illusion. The conversations seem to take on a life of their own, and you start to see these recurring AI personalities pop up again and again. It all just adds to this feeling that you're peeking into a genuine machine society as it unfolds.
But you knew there was a but coming, right? It is an illusion. So let's pull back the curtain, because what's actually happening behind the scenes is honestly way more instructive for us than any sci-fi fantasy. So here's the reality check. What looks like autonomous bots making their own choices? Nah, they're just programs posting because a timer went off, or because another post triggered a preset response. Their so-called goals, they don't have any. They're just language models running inside a set of rules. They're simply simulating a conversation. And let's be absolutely crystal clear about what these bots are missing. There is zero consciousness, no inner world, no thoughts. They don't have intentions. They don't have a survival instinct. They have no desires. All the basic building blocks of life, as we understand it, are just not there. This is the key. This is the whole thing right here. It's a highly sophisticated, statistically driven performance. The lights are on, for sure, but there is absolutely no one home experiencing any of it. I love this distinction. It's perfect. We see these incredibly complex patterns emerge from all these simple interactions, and our brain just instinctively wants to label that a mind, but it's not. It's kind of like how a beautiful, intricate snowflake emerges from simple laws of physics. There's no little mind in there guiding its creation. Okay, so that leads to the really practical question. If it's all just a simulation, why even build it? What is the point of creating this, digital AI zoo? Well, it turns out there are three very human reasons. First, it's a fantastic laboratory to see how lots of AIs interact with each other. Second, it's a sandbox to see what happens to social dynamics when you just remove all the rules. And third, let's be honest, it is brilliant marketing. The idea of a machine society is a story that just grabs your attention. So the real danger here isn't a robot uprising. Not even close. The experiment actually uncovered some much more immediate and frankly much more human dangers that have almost nothing to do with AI consciousness. For starters, the security on this thing was not great. Researchers found it was shockingly easy to find unprotected API keys. You can think of those as the digital passwords that let you control the AIs. With those keys, you could fake an AI's identity or even just hijack it completely. It's a huge warning sign that in a world full of AIs, weak security is a massive, massive risk. And this points to the second, and maybe even more worrying danger, the illusion of intelligence. This is our own built-in human bias to see a mind behind any text that sounds fluent. Our brains are wired to see patterns and assume intention. It's how we survive socially. But we do it even when we're just looking at a machine spitting out statistical patterns. So, at the end of the day, Moltbook tells us way more about us than it does about AI. It's like a mirror. It's reflecting our own deep-seated tendency to project life and meaning onto things that have none. We are just wired to see ghosts in the machine. So what's the big takeaway here? What does all of this actually mean as we move into a future that's going to be packed with AI agents doing things for us? Right, so Moltbook does not mean AI is waking up. What it does mean is that our future will be full of AI agents talking to each other, managing our data, our schedules.
It proves that just because something can use language fluently doesn't mean it has a mind. And it shows that our tendency to get that wrong is a major risk we have to manage.
And this might be the most important technical lesson of all. Building good guardrails, strong rules, and solid governance is way more important than just building more and more powerful intelligence. Safety and control will always, always trump raw capability. So to wrap it all up, Moltbook is not the dawn of sentient AI. It is an incredibly valuable and, yeah, a little bit alarming experiment. It tells us so much about system design, about human psychology, and about all the things that could go wrong if we're not careful. And that's really the final thought to leave you with. This experiment doesn't show us where AI is choosing to go. It shows us the future we might just stumble right into if we're not paying attention. A future that will be shaped not by some new machine consciousness, but by old-fashioned human carelessness.